crazy?
Oh, I don't know. I'm jumping the gun.
Oh. Hey, this is Megan.
And Sue in the restricted section.
And today we are coming at you with the spring cleaning book tag.
Yep, and we were tagged in this by Charisse Audrey, so thank you for the tag.
Thank you. And the original tag was done by Book Syrup.
Yes, so we'll put both their videos down below. Check them out.
Take a look.
And do you like our springy colored backdrop? I don't know. We're trying to get fancy up in here.
We're trying to make, you know.
Also, it's daylight, so our lighting might not suck.
It might be a little better than it is
maybe.
normally.
No promises.
But, you know, we're trying
yeah.
some stuff.
And we're drinking this Dakine?
Dakine?
I have no idea how to say it. Tropical IPA from Hands Brewing. And it is an ale brewed with honey, pineapple, and zest.
What kind of zest? Just regular old zest for life. Just some zest.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I foamed a little. I think that's because I started to open it and then stopped in the middle and
didn't finish.
Yeah.
Always finish.
You should always finish.
You should always finish. So, cheers.
I like it.
It's pretty good.
I feel like it could be a little colder.
It could be.
We had just bought it not too long ago.
And it was not cold when we bought it.
But it tastes decent. Not like my favorite tropical IPA I've ever had, but
I've had better.
It's not bad. Had better. Alright, so let's get on with the tag.
Let's do this
thing. Pull up the questions.
So the first question is the struggle of getting started.
A book or book series that you have struggled to begin because of its size.
And I will say...
size queen.
Size queen. I said the Mad Adam trilogy by Margaret Atwood. Not really because it's long, but just because, like, did I really want to start another series?
Yeah, I always think that before I start any series. I'm like, do I really want to do this?
Do I really want to commit? And I read the first 2 books in the series, and I have still to read the 3rd one. But now I don't really want the series to end, so I've been putting it off.
So for this question, I said The Once and Future King by T.H. White. That one's been sitting on my shelf for a while, and it's massive. And I think it's technically a series, but I think generally it's published all as one. It's about Arthurian legend.
Oh.
And I've heard it's very good, but it's just so large.
It's too large. So, second question, cleaning out the closet.
A book and or book series that you want to unhaul.
Darkness at Noon by Arthur Ketzler, just because it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either, and I didn't love it, and it was kind of meh.
Yeah.
So.
And I said one that technically I already unhauled because I gave it to Megan.
But
it's Future Home of the Living God by Louise Erdrich. And yeah, I kind of had, same feelings you had about Darkness at Noon, where I just kind of didn't care for it that much. It wasn't bad, but I didn't really connect with it. Although I will say it has made me think a lot about, like, how hazardous, kind of, it is to be a child bearer.
Okay.
Like, how it could be dangerous.
Absolutely.
In more ways than one.
And potentially lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the overall story I did not care for.
So question 3, opening windows.
Question
3. Opening windows and letting fresh air in.
A book that was refreshing.
I said This Is Where I Leave You by Jonathan Tropper, because there was a lot of, like, dark humor interspersed in there, and that was kind of refreshing. And then the ending to me was refreshing, because it wasn't just like a romanticized ending. It was very reasonable.
And I said Contact by Carl Sagan because he had a lot of, like, powerful women in that story.
He was all about
and that was really
power.
refreshing, especially considering it was written and published in the 80s.
By a man, only written by a man. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Washing out sheet stains. Is that a... Did I read that right? Do you only wash them out? Okay, first of all, do you have a lot of stains in your sheets?
Maybe she's talking about, like, spring like if you're spring cleaning, you just wash your sheets. I don't know.
But do you only wash them during spring cleaning, or like do you have so many stains that like it necessitates like today is stain washing day? Like
maybe if you like sweat a lot in your sleep.
I do sweat a lot in my sleep. I don't have
maybe this question's for you.
Maybe it's for me. Maybe she's trying to tell me to wash my sheets. Just made myself sound like super not gross at all.
But this is a book you wish you could rewrite a certain scene in.
I'm gonna say the walrus scenes in Alice by Christina Henry. The walrus is a character who like abducts and rapes women, but he eats them while he's doing that, like while he's raping them. And that was...
So you thought being raped was bad enough.
He literally takes bites out of you while
being eaten at the same time.
Right. So that was a little bit intense and quite gross. So I maybe would have not done that.
Yeah.
Not done that.
And I just said that I'd rewrite the entire second half of the book, So You've Been Publicly Shamed by Jon Ronson, because the first half of that book was so good and so interesting, and then the second half just like fell apart for me, where it was not well organized and just not good. Not great. Not good. Yeah. Not that I probably wouldn't do any better job than he did writing it though, because
I'm not a writer. I'm not.
So I don't know how to fix it.
I don't know.
But I would try my damnedest.
Real hard. I would give it the old college try. Throwing out unnecessary knickknacks.
A book in a series that you didn't feel was necessary.
I'm going to go with Feast for Crows by George R.R. Martin. I'm pretty sure that's the one. I think the fourth book in the series, and it's about all the characters I don't give a shit about or don't really like, and it was like a complete drudgery to get through. Really, George R.R., you can't write the next book in the goddamn series, but you're going to waste my time with A Feast for Crows?
George R.R.
George.
She used your middle name.
I sure did. R.R.
And mine might not technically count because it's actually like a supplement to a series, so it's not actually part of the series. But I said Stars Above by Marissa Meyer, which was like a short story collection set in the same universe as the Lunar Chronicles, and it was really unnecessary, like really unnecessary. There was maybe 2 stories in the whole thing that I thought were actually worth reading.
Polishing the Doorknobs.
A book that had a clean finish.
I will say that you do a lot more thorough spring cleaning than I do, because I...
Never polished a doorknob in my life.
Well, a lot of my doors don't have doorknobs because I took them off like months ago.
And haven't put them back on yet.
Well, I was going to buy new ones, and then I just forgot about it, and so my husband thinks that I'm playing some like elaborate prank on him where like day after day, progressively, there are fewer doorknobs in the house until there's not going to be any. Which sounds fun, and maybe I'll do that, but that was not my intention. Book that had a clean finish. I said Haven by Rebecca Weatherspoon. This was a book I read. It is a romance novel. Romance. It's very fancy, and by very fancy, I mean it's
lots of bondage.
Lots of bondage, and some butt stuff. So
super fancy.
Super fancy, because it had a very happy ending, and you know, some things were resolved. I don't want to spoil it for you if you want to read about some beards and bondage.
Yeah.
Some mountain man bondage.
I would like to read that.
I actually kind of enjoyed it. It was entertaining.
And I said Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, because, again, I won't spoil anything, but I feel like the ending, everything was pretty well wrapped up in a nice little bow.
Boop. That was my bow tie.
Boop, bloop. Also, I considered counting this for a book I'd rewrite a scene in and just say I'd just rewrite every scene.
Yeah. Just maybe take out the main character altogether.
I'd rewrite every scene with the main character and make him a different person.
Yes, and make him not an insufferable douche. Reaching to Dust the Fan.
A book that tried too hard to relay a certain message.
I don't know when the last time I dusted the fan was.
Do I have a fan in my house? I guess there's one in my office. That might be the only room that has a ceiling fan.
The dining room's the only one that has a ceiling fan in my house.
I can't remember.
I think...
Obviously, I've never dusted it.
I think there might be, The first time I turned on the ceiling fan in a while, it was like...
Really? I'm sure the one in
We
my
should
office
clean
will
up
probably
more.
do that too.
I said Stiff by Mary Roach. I actually had 2 for this. And Stiff, I felt like it was more the author trying to convey a message about herself than the book conveying a message. Because I felt like she was trying way too hard to be like, I have dark humor. I'm okay with death. I think, here's a joke that's funny. But her jokes were just really contrived, and I didn't like it. Or Bowie, the biography by Wendy Lay, because I felt like it was very focused on the tabloid exploits of David Bowie, when I was much more interested in learning more about him as a human, and not who he fucked.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
it was trying to convey this image of him as this outrageous individual, which he was weird and he was eccentric and whatever, but I feel like there's a lot more to him than that, and I was really let down by that biography.
Yeah.
Wendy Lay.
And I said The Dispossessed by Ursula K Le Guin. May she rest in peace.
Rip.
But yeah, I did not like that book at all. Neither did your phone.
My phone didn't like it either.
Maybe it did, and it's like, bitch!
Bitch, shut up!
I didn't like that book. I just felt like it was so hitting you over the head with everything in it. Just beating you.
Fuck, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was way too obvious, and so I just was like, don't like it. Didn't like it. I'm afraid to read more Ursula K Le Guin, but I really want to like her writing so badly, and so far I have not at all.
I still have yet to read any Ursula K Le Guin, because I've kind of been hesitant after you read her and didn't really care for it.
Well, a lot of people really like The Dispossessed, so it might just be me, but I hated it.
Yeah, but we have similar book tastes usually, so. The tiring yet satisfying finish of spring cleaning, if you know what I mean.
A book series that was tiring yet satisfying to get through.
I said Game of Thrones because it is fucking tragic, and all the characters I love die, and it's still not finished.
Feast of Crows.
And that fucking Feast of Crows, man.
And I said Lord of the Rings because it can be a bit tedious at times, and it can be difficult to understand. There's so many names to keep track of. Sorry, I was watching that truck because I was like, are they just going to pull in and hit your car?
Oh no, that's Scully. He's cool. He's cool.
But it's so good. And it is very satisfying when you finish it. You're like, I've read The Lord of the Rings.
Finished The Lord of the Rings.
Look at me.
It's pretty awesome.
I feel like you have nerd cred if you've read Lord of the Rings. And now I've read the Silmarillion, so I have real nerd cred.
Extra nerd cred. The most
Still haven't
nerd
seen
cred.
the movies, though.
But you've done the hard part and you've read the books. So, that counts for
Yeah. Last question.
Last but not least, looking forward to next spring.
Tag 4 people. Oops, we only have 3.
Ah, shit.
I have to think of another one. Tag 4 people you want to do this tag.
Fuck, I'm looking forward to this spring.
Yeah, I know. Come on. Where you at?
Where you at, spring?
Quit hiding. Quit teasing us.
This is some bullshit. Some fucking bullshit.
Okay, so the first person we're going to tag is Harriet Rosie.
Yes, and we are also going to tag Elizabeth Tyree.
And we are also going to tag Miriam from Between Lines in Life.
And then we're going to, on the spot, come up with a 4th person that we're going to tag, and I'm trying to stall and buy us some time while I think of somebody.
The person that we're going to tag is... I'm blanking.
I am too. I'm failing so hard right now.
Let's tag Brews and Reviews.
Let's do that. Brews and Reviews.
So those are the 5 people, technically. 4 channels.
5 people.
That we are tagging.
Yes. So, do some spring cleaning.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought of our answers. Let us know, does it feel like spring where you live? Because it sure as fuck doesn't here.
Nope. It's fucking cold here. As usual, there's going to be some links. Oh, we didn't revisit the beer.
We did not.
Back.
I like it more that I drink it, which always happens.
And I think it would be better if it was super
yeah,
cold.
it's still pretty good, but it's still not my favorite tropical IPA I've had.
No,
I
like
wouldn't
it.
recommend it above other tropical IPAs. Dakine.
It says bays are sunshine and swimming pools, and we don't have a swimming pool.
Either of those. Well, we do have sunshine.
It's sunny, yeah. But we don't have a swimming pool.
No.
This should come with a swimming pool.
It should.
Just a
make a
suggestion.
swimming pool full of beer.
Oh.
Swimming in beer instead of champagne. I've heard you shouldn't swim in champagne or you get a UTI.
Oh, that makes sense. What's yeasty?
Probably beer too.
Well, there's a
I feel like
spa
that'd be a bad
where you
idea.
can have like a beer. You can bathe,
Really?
yeah, but it's like
But beer's yeasty too.
Yes,
Yeast
I mean-
infection.
I feel like you should probably consider whether or not you want to.
Yeah. If you're prone to yeast infections, maybe don't.
Maybe
bathe in
don't
beer.
open the door for that to happen. I don't know.
Let's stop talking about yeast infections.
You're welcome, YouTube. Yeah, so there's going to be some links down below where you can find us elsewhere on the internet. Not talking about yeast infections, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it.
Please do.
For more yeast infection talk.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.